Hi there. Today we're going to be reviewing the responsive web page functionality available in Vauzo's intranet solution. Now, here we are at the home page of a basic intranet site. And this page itself is actually responsive. All the pages in Vauzo intranet solution are responsive by default. It's not anything that you have to set up or configure. You basically just build the page as you would for a desktop. And then our software in the background automatically generates pages that are best suited for different viewing devices such as desktop, laptop, tablet such as iPad, and mobile devices such as iPhone, Galaxy, that type of thing. So to demonstrate this, we're going to go to Departments, and I'm just going to pick a little bit more simple page to start us out. I'm going to go to Our Commitment. And before we actually look at the responsive functionality itself, we're going to just briefly look at the pages from a higher level. So we've got some navigation on the left, we've got some sub-navigation on the right, and a little text section here. But essentially the real purpose of the page and the real focal point of the page is the content itself. So here we've got basically some simple text at the top, and then we've got three separate sections here. So if you kind of ask yourself the question, how should this page be laid out for, let's say, an iPhone? Really what you come up with is that you still want access to the navigation and the sub-navigation, etc. But you really don't want to have to scroll to get down to this main content. That's really the purpose of the page. And that's exactly what our responsive functionality does within Vauzo's intranet solution. It takes the important parts of the page and basically puts that up at the top, and then it rearranges the layout so that your viewing experience, regardless of the device, is going to be best suited for that device. And so that'll make a little bit more sense as we change the viewport here. But okay, so in order to demonstrate the responsive web page functionality, there's actually two things we could do. We could obviously, if you had a free trial account of Vauzo Intranet Solutions, which takes about a minute to set up, you could simply view your website using an iPad or an iPhone or whatever mobile device you have to view basically the same thing we're going to do here. But an even easier way to do that is to simply resize the browser. And our software will detect the size of the screen and then automatically adjust the layout of the screen accordingly so that you get the best possible viewing experience based on the size of your browser. So here we are at the desktop view essentially, and to start to see what this looks like on other devices, we can simply drag the screen in so that it's a little bit smaller. So we're going to drag it in, we're going to drag it in. Even dragging it in slightly, what we're going to see is that the images are automatically resized, which means that we're making the full use of the real estate of the screen. So regardless of what resolution your viewing device is on, it's going to automatically adjust it so that your screen size is best utilized. As we slide this in a little bit more and a little bit more, at this point we're looking about what the size of it might be on a smaller laptop. And eventually we're going to get to more of a tablet view. So when we get to about here, we actually see that there's some pretty significant changes. The first one is that the left-hand navigation is no longer on the left at all. There's no right-hand sidebar. The left-hand navigation is basically now pushed up into the top nav, and it's been collapsed. We can still get to it by clicking up here, and then that'll expand out the same navigation. But you can see what's at the very top of the screen now, and you can imagine if this was an iPad, is really the content. And again, the content itself is really the key thing that we want to view here. So we would be able to scroll down, and once we get down to the three sections, we'll see that those are no longer columns, but they're actually rows on top of each other. The images have actually gone from small to a little bit bigger, again to best utilize the screen resources available and to make the layout of the page most appealing to the eye as you view it. Now as we get past that, you're going to see that the sidebar nav is still there, it's simply below. So as you get down here and you scroll to the page, and you read the content, the next natural thing you might want to do is to view another page in the HR department. So the navigation is automatically below the content, and then we still have the text section that was on the very bottom. There's also a convenient link to scroll all the way up to the top, which is nice if you're on a tablet or a phone. And so that was the tablet view. We can even scroll in a little bit more and start to see, once we get about to here, that this is actually what the layout would look like if you were on let's say, an iPhone. You can see that it's very similar to the tablet view, in that the menu's still been collapsed. We still have the main text at the very top, and as we scroll down, we'll see that the image has actually been placed on top of the content. So it's actually very similar to the desktop view, in that the organization of each individual content section is organized this way, but now they've been stacked on top of each other. So as you can imagine, if you were viewing this on a mobile device, you could just be scrolling through all this with your finger and very easily read it. And then again, as you get to the bottom, you have the navigation and the last text piece there. And of course, we can just move back out of this to take a look at what that page looks like in larger viewports. And then we can even go to a little bit more complex page, like the home page. And as I mentioned, that page was also responsive, so we can start to resize that a little bit, and we can see that the images get a little bit smaller, and then you eventually get to a point where same thing has happened. This is more of a tablet view, but you still have this cool kind of layout of all of your different news items. You can still click on them, be directed to them, and blow up the pictures just as you would if you're on a device, but now this is going to be more optimized for a tablet device, and we can scroll down and see that the same adjustments that were made on the our commitment page that we were reviewing before have been made here, so we can take a look at those. And then we can go from tablet view to more of a mobile view and see that it's then going to take each one of these stories and essentially make them all the same size and stack them on top of each other so that they're easy to scroll through and read through on a mobile device. But really the key concept here is that from a content administration perspective, you're only building the page once, and you're really focusing on just how do I make this page look as best as possible on a desktop view, and then our software behind the scenes will automatically take those pages and adjust them for the different viewports so that they're optimized and that they're very easy to navigate, regardless of if you've got a very large screen on your desktop all the way down to mobile. So hopefully that gives a good overview of what the responsive web page functionality is within our Vauzo intranet solution. Thanks for watching.